right now they're saying, go fight in Ukraine. They got rid of the visa requirement even. You can just roll up and, grab a gun and start shooting Russians. That's the idea. And you even have the UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss encouraging people to do that, right? The Ukrainian government coming out and encouraging people to do that. And so it is ironic because this is the same playbook that they used in Syria, right? And Afghanistan, for that matter, in the 80s, right? So they want foreign fighters to come to this country where they're antagonizing Russia and to fight the war for them. So, the Mujahideen, they had CIA backing, CIA funding. They had this recruitment office in Peshawar. And then they would get all these people from Afghanistan or from, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, you name it. And they would come over from all over, and they would convince them that this is a religious fight. And it's actually just, Uncle Sam throwing dollar bills and stingers and then sending them off to fight the Russians for them, right? And then in Syria, they did the same thing with Al-Qaeda, right? They set up these recruitment offices. They spoke about it in the media, encouraging it implicitly, like it's a noble fight to go and fight there. And they don't mean just against ISIS, right? Even the Syrian government, right? They had this jihadi tourism, or I don't know what other term they made up for it. And now in Ukraine, they're saying the same thing. They want everyone to go fight. And it's to the point that the UK Foreign Secretary is endorsing it on television. On television. She's saying, yes, we support that for people to just go fight. Mask off. This whole Ukraine thing is such a mask off moment. It's revealed so much about the double standards of international law, about how they fight with proxies, the racism, the double standard of we can bomb you and start wars, but it's not okay when Russia does it. It's really revealed so much hypocrisy in the media, in the governments, the politicians. I love it. In that sense, there's a silver lining because I hope it opens people's eyes. I hope they can finally see the hypocrisy now. And even with the refugees, how we treat white refugees versus other refugees, which we created. Right? We, the West, we created those refugees, but we're going to treat them worse. It's really vile. They're not going to be laughing when you have people from Idlib, from northern Syria, who are usually not even Syrian. They're, again, foreigners who've come to fight. When they go and end up in Ukraine, and then you have ISIS in Europe, that's a result of Western policies. There's always blowback, right? They give money to these people, they fund them, they enable them, they train them, they let them run wild, and then it comes back to bite them, whether it's 9/11 or the embassy bombings in Africa, or whether it's the attacks in Europe by ISIS. You're going to see, I really hope I'm wrong, but you might very well see more of ISIS and more of these extremists coming from Syria or from Iraq or wherever the hell else, even from Libya, going to Ukraine to fight the Russians at the behest of Western Europe, at the behest of NATO, that's openly encouraging them, openly, on television. And the legal double standard is another one, right? That you can go and fight ISIS in Syria, and then when you get back to Britain, the security services will harass you. The problem is, it's even if it's a noble fight, like, okay, great, you want to go fight ISIS, thank you very much, but you don't have a right to go into the country. There was no waiving of a visa requirement in Syria. Syria's borders didn't change, but these people come in illegally and they fight ISIS. And my point is here that even though ISIS is supposedly an enemy of the British, they were still harassing people who fought against ISIS with the Kurds. And when it comes to people who joined ISIS, they stripped them of their nationality. There's many cases of that. Even people who didn't fight, but people who just went there to, there's some women who went to join or start families there, or I don't know what the details were, but they were stripped of their British nationality. Now, again, I have no love or sympathy whatsoever for them, but it's interesting how they strip their nationality for going off, joining a foreign conflict, but it's okay for you to go do it in Ukraine. Like, I'm pretty sure they're not going to start stripping your nationalities after the foreign secretary was saying, yes, go and fight in Ukraine. Again, clear double standard. The thing is, they say, you went and joined ISIS, you fought or you didn't fight, it doesn't matter. You're dangerous, and that's why we're stripping you of your nationality. But apparently it's okay to go to Ukraine and join neo-Nazis? Like, don't tell me that's not a thing. We know that the Azov battalion exists, and you have other right-wing, far-right militias that are part of the Ukrainian National Guard and the Ukrainian forces, and they're just, sending them money openly from the US through the CIA, and now openly telling you to go fight with them. So let me get this straight. It's not okay to fight with ISIS, who again, I have zero sympathy for them. It's not okay to fight with ISIS, but it's okay to fight with neo-Nazis. What the fuck is the difference? It's unbelievable. They always get in bed with these shady types, the Western governments. They go and support Mujahideen or Al-Qaeda and neo-Nazis, and then that's how they use these proxies to antagonize Russia. They never learn. There's always blowback from this, and always when it's happening, no one wants to listen. And they just normalize this and okay this and make you think that it's all right. And then it always comes back to bite people. Unbelievable double standard.